of what happens in any culture that has no use for God. In Romans chapter 1, it says that God gave them up for judgment. How about you? Where do you want to be? What is your heart's desire? Every time that happens, every time we resist, every time we reject, every time we refuse, things get worse, not better. And I know, and I said this earlier in a different way, but did you know that God's patience doesn't last forever? He will not strive with man always. God warns and He calls, He pleads with us, with His people to turn to Him, to reach for Him. But if after many opportunities, after many attempts, a nation says, God, we don't need you, then the Almighty says, okay, have it your way. Now, before you go out and you sit on your high horse and you talk about how our nation is going to hell, you might want to realize you're part of this nation. And it is our responsibility to shine a light into dark places. Do not sit in the seat of what? The scornful. Amen? See, God steps out of the way and He leaves a nation of its own devices. He leaves a people on their own devices. The result is always the same. God will not stand in our way if we want to drive. Listen, if you want to drive off a cliff, if you want to jump out of a perfectly good airplane, go ahead. You don't want to continue your journey and you just want to step off here, that's all up to you. His judgment is often to do nothing as we plunge to our own destruction. You chose it. And I guess maybe this is not a political statement. Not just America, but the world. But I'm praying for a turnaround in our nation today. That we will become the nation God wanted us to be. That Israel can become the nation she was supposed to be. That all people will come to know His name. I mean, there is coming a time when every knee shall bow and every tongue will confess. But that's not a pretty picture. I'm not here this morning to force you to bow. That's not the point. I'm hoping to inspire you. You know, we've decided that we don't need God, and we don't need the church, and we don't need all these things. And we